All right, next one I want to get into. How many people, bring the chat over for me for a second. How many people are investing in FAANG stocks? Type a me in the room. How many people invest in FAANG stocks? Put a me in the room. All right, and I think that this was a good time to look at what FAANG stocks are doing. All right, and this story says that Facebook is the best FAANG stock to invest in today. All right, let's dive into that story. Charles, the QQQ is not a FAANG stock. The QQQ is not a FAANG stock. Really, Seth? Wow. All right, take that away. Take that away. All right, let's talk about this story. Facebook, the best FAANG stock to invest in. All right, that's all I'm going to say about that. Let's go into my watch list. I made a list of all of the FAANG stocks, starting with Facebook, Apple, Netflix, Google, Amazon. You notice something? My FAANG stocks sorted by VST are what? The top stocks in this watch list. You think that's by design? You think that's by accident? No, it's not. Start off with Facebook, undervalued. Apple, fairly valued. Looking at Netflix, overvalued. Looking at Alphabet, undervalued. Looking at Amazon, overvalued. Notice that every one of them, with the exception of Amazon, has good upside potential. Notice that every one of them have relative safeties above 1. Notice that every stock has a RT above 1. So someone asked me about finding longer-term stocks. This might be a good list for you. How about they all grow their earnings at a rate, double-digit earnings rates every year, and they all have positive earnings? Let's do this. Let's take a look at them. Let's go view the stock graph. Let's put this up. I'm going to put this on a one-year graph. Overall, over the last year, Facebook has gone up. What's that? COVID-19. After the March 23rd low, look what Facebook did. Very resilient, kept moving up, right? Look at the earnings, steadying it out. RT above 1. What's the next one? Wow, look at Apple. I love Apple, but not in love with Apple. But look at that. Prior to COVID-19, Apple was a steady Eddie. After COVID-19 bottom, look at that, even a steadier eddier. You know what this looks like? This looks like an airplane taking off. Look at that stock. Looking for a longer-term stock, look at the earnings. You can't go wrong with Apple. And when this happens with Apple, learning to trade options, sell a covered call. That would have helped you go to absorb a lot of that downturn. Sell a put. Sell a protective put. There's several ways that you could have played this stock. Apple looks so far really, really good. Here's Netflix, a little bit more choppy, but overall still moving from the, actually almost from the bottom left to the top right. A little bit more choppy on Netflix going into prior to COVID-19. Look at the nice move. Choppyosity in a channel, breaking out of that channel now. What's the next one? Google, beautiful before COVID-19, nice recovery after COVID-19. Earnings still looks good. RT is moving higher. Watch it, RT is starting to trend lower as well. And the last stock, Amazon, pretty flat going into COVID-19, but nice recovery coming off of that. So the story says that Facebook was the one to buy. If you're looking at that list, bring the chat over to me. If you were looking at the list, we saw those FAANG stocks. Would you agree with that story? Or what stock out of that list do you think was the better buy than Facebook? Anybody, type it in the room. What stock looked to be the better stock than Facebook? All right, type it in the room. Anybody? Anybody? I know there's a delay. No, it wasn't Facebook. Apple. Shopify is not even in there. Shopify is not in there. All right, it was Apple. What does FAANG stand for? The stocks that are in it. Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google. Take the first, this almost says FAANG, but it's FAANG. It is the first letters of those companies. That's what makes a FAANG stock. Some people are saying Amazon. Let me see what y'all saw that I didn't see. I'll put this on a one-year graph. There was the Facebook stock. Here's the Apple stock. I can't see how anybody in this room would think that Apple was not. Look at that. Netflix, not nearly as strong. Look at the Apple was really strong coming into this graph. Google might not be a bad answer. Google may not be a bad answer. It looks a lot like Apple, and Amazon was not it. So I would think that either Google or Apple were the better plays, even better than Facebook, as the story said. All right. Any questions? I'm going to look. Any questions? Apple will go down very soon together with the rest of the market. Unemployment sky high. Well, you know something? When Apple, let me show you something in regards to Apple. How about I use the VectorVest software to help me with that? What's the first thing I'm looking for in regards to seeing if the stock is in a downtrend or not? How about I got a level of resistance, right? A level of support. If it breaks through that level of support, it breaks below that 20-day exponential moving average, that's a good time for me to know when to get out. All right, so I was wondering if all FAANG stocks are over 70. Is it still... Stop being stuck on the RSI thing. And if you look at the graph, If RSI is over 70, Leonardo, what does that tell you? That the stock is overbought, right? So just use that information. I'm gonna deter from your questions, Leonardo, because you're asking them more than once. So I'm gonna shut that down. I'm pretty much gonna shut that down. All right. So look at what's going on with the stock. Look at the graph. I am all about looking at a graph to make sure that you know what's going on. And Maria is right. It does pay a dividend as well. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Now, if you're new to the software or would like refresher information about the software, click on this Getting Started video right here. Thanks to all of your input, here's a YouTube video that we think would be perfect for you. Click right here. If nothing else, folks, just hit the subscribe button right here.